All right, looks like 9 o'clock has rolled around. We are ready to get started tonight. We've got just the one break, and it's going to be a half case of Gypsy Queen baseball. It does happen to be the first half of a new case, so we will be using random.org to help us determine which boxes we open tonight and which boxes we will be opening in the next break. So we'll get that going here in a moment. I have got... Sorry, my iPad was getting stuck there for some reason. But in the meantime, we are going to go over a little bit of information before we actually start ripping while everybody's here getting into the room and getting settled. So my feedback is completely automated on eBay. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you will instantly get the same in return. And the other message there, of course, way more important, is a big thank you. I always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me, keeping me company on this Friday night. Somewhere I can get us on the other tab. There we go. So these are the breaks that are coming up in the days ahead. Anything you see on this page is already listed on eBay, up and available for bidding right now as we speak. So Saturday and Sunday nights continue to be off nights for the time being. On Monday night, we're going to come back with 3 2019 Leaf autographed multi-sport jerseys. And those spots are sold by the first letter of the name on the jersey. So Brady would go to the B, Ichiro would go to the I, Pele to the P, etc. It's the name on the jersey, first letter of that name. And all those breaks, all those spots are listed in the football category, even though this is a multi-sport product. Also on Monday night, we'll be breaking a Gold Rush autographed full-size football helmet. Then on Tuesday night, we'll come back and break the back half of this case of Gypsy Queen that we're starting tonight. We will finish that up on Tuesday night. And then when we get to Wednesday, we're going to open a case of TriStar autographed football jerseys. They're actually the Game Day Great football jerseys. I didn't type that in there, but that's what they are. Now, let's talk about tonight. So just the one break, and it is a paid shipping break, and that is, of course, our Gypsy Queen baseball. And I anticipate that this will be out the door and on the way to you approximately Tuesday. Now, that's always plus or minus a day. If things go really well, maybe it goes a day early. If things get off the rails, maybe it goes a day later. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, Tuesday being my best estimate at this moment in time. And of course, everybody's going to pull cards in here, so we don't need to worry about consolation cards. We're all set there. Let me see if we've got anything that is unpaid. And we don't, which is fantastic. That's the first night in a while. Thank you, everybody. That makes my night much better. This is a 5-box break of 2020 Gypsy Queen baseball. It's a half case break. This is break number 9. Once again, the start of a new case. And of course, it ended tonight on eBay the same night we are breaking it, which is Friday night, the 8th of May. Team names are there on the left-hand side. The eBay user ID of each winning bidder is across from their team there on the opposite side. As I mentioned before, this is the start of a brand new case. So what I will do is take all 10 boxes out of the case. Then we will use random.org to help us figure out which ones we open tonight and which ones are opened when we finish up this case on Tuesday night. The last little thing I need to do before we start that is to tweak the focus. You will notice your background getting blurry. That is intentional. I don't want you to worry about that, though. We're going to be able to see everything we need to see with no problem. But first things first, I got to get these out of here. And then we've got to use random to figure out which ones we're going to open tonight. I don't know, where's the best place going to be to number them? I guess on the end. That's usually what we do. So I guess we'll just do that again. Momentarily debated numbering them on the front or the side, but I think the end's just as easy. Oh my gosh, if I can get them out of this box. They are wedged in there. Which is a good thing. You don't want them rolling around in there, right? We want them all nice and tucked in, safe and sound. But I'm going to have to turn that upside down to get these last two out of there. There we go. And a little good news is that Panini has an updated release schedule. So starting next Friday, a week from today, at least for the foreseeable future, we have got Panini new releases coming out every Wednesday and every Friday that I saw, all the way through the end of May. Now, I don't know if they're going to at some point double up on releases where we would get more than one at once, but what I saw today had a handful of releases, and it was one every Wednesday and one every Friday starting next Friday, a week from today. Looks like I hit the camera, didn't I? It's not even anymore. All right, what are we doing? We're headed over here to Random to sort this out. I got to bring you with me, don't I? I'm over there. Doesn't do me any good if you're not with me. So, Random. We do this the same way every time, guys and gals. When we have 10 or more items in a list, we do random one single time. When we have 9 or fewer items in a list, we do random 3 times, and only the third random decides where the card goes, okay? So that is how it works, and let's get going with this. All right, so here we go. Random tells us we are opening boxes 7, 9, 6, 10, and 1. So that is 1, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 6, 7, 9, 10 on tap. All right, there's our 1 and our 6. There's 7. And here comes 9 and 10. Let me get the other 5 out of the way, and then we'll be rolling along here. Jay Allen's here. Hi, Jay Allen. I have not seen you in a couple of days. How you been, man? Or maybe you've been here and you just haven't been in chat. That could be. Dylan Will is here, back for some Gypsy Queen. Hi, Dylan Will. And Jason has joined us. All you need is cards is here too. And boy, you know I'm gonna butcher this. Mauricia 12 da Great. I'm sure I totally butchered that, but hey, I tried, okay? You got to give me props for trying. You know I'm bad at that sort of thing. All right, in Gypsy Queen, we will be looking for a couple of on-card autographs per box. In addition to that, we can find some other fun stuff, like these box loaders here. And there will be a set of chrome box loaders, a set of 3, in every single box that we open. I got to get some sleeves out. Hang on one second here. And then we'll talk about the rest of the content in a minute. Let's look at these first. Okay, so the Nationals. First one we see is a blue border chrome Patrick Corbin. It's numbered to 150. Our other 2 chrome box loaders in here are not numbered. So we've got the Cubbies with Rizzo, and behind that, the Twins and Nelson Cruz. So out of our regular Gypsy Queen, in addition to our 2 on-card autographs, we can find black and white parallels that are numbered to 50. We can find missing nameplates. Those are variations. There are logo swap variations where the Gypsy Queen logo is swapped out and the Gypsy's face is up there instead. There's Players Weekend uniforms, Jackie Robinson Day uniforms. There's some kind of like Memorial Day or Salute to Service type uniform variations that are possible. And some other things too that are less likely to be pulled, but other variations as well, which we might find some of. And of course, somewhere in here, there are probably some bazooka back cards. We look at the backs of anything that is an insert or a hit. We do not go through and look at the back of every base because that would take absolutely forever Of course, all the cards ship, so if you're due one, you're going to get it. But if someone feels very strongly about seeing the backs, you let me know in chat, and then you just hang around to the very end of the night, and we would do a really quick little shuffle through looking at just the backs. I only do that upon request because A, most people have been in my breaks before, and you know that if it's in there, you're going to get it, and B, because I don't like to handle the cards any more than absolutely necessary. So, but if somebody wants it done on a special request kind of thing, we can definitely do that. There will also be some other numbered parallels in here with a couple of different shades of blue borders and probably some stuff that I'm forgetting. The high number short prints, those are any card numbered to 301 or higher, and they are generally retired superstar kind of players, right? Like your Clementes and Babe Ruths and Ty Cobbs and those kind of guys. And, you know, if I miss something when I go through here and you catch it, if I miss a variation and you see it, feel free to jump in there and let me know, and we'll go back and try to find it. That is a Max Scherzer Fortune Teller Mini for the Nationals. There'll be lots and lots of those minis before we are all said and done. For some strange reason, Topps puts some of the cards in there upside down in some of the packs, not in every pack. Weird, right? There's a tarot insert. Aaron Judge and the Yankees, and we'll have a bunch of those tarots before the day is over as well. And what else? What else do we need to talk about in there? There's Acuna for the Braves. See, since we just finished breaking Heritage, I've still got Heritage on the brain a little bit. And I'm sitting there thinking all the Heritage things, and it's like, wait, what? No. So, all right, what else have we got up there? Jay Allen says, you're okay, you've just been taking a break. Well, I don't blame you. Sometimes you got to have a break. There's Mike Trout with the tarot insert for the Angels. And Jay Allen, you need the Phillies in here. Jason needs the Rockies, he says. We'll read on down there for a moment, in a moment. There's Yordan Alvarez and the Astros with a Fortune Teller Mini. And a blue border for the Yankees, Aaron Judge. And that is numbered to 150. And on we go. And Marisa 12 wants to know about the empty boxes. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I don't have outer boxes that are going to be suitable to ship those. I mean, this stuff ships in bubble mailers, as you might expect. So I don't really have a feasible way to send empty boxes on stuff like that, nor would I have enough to go around if everyone wanted one. So I generally don't get into that sort of stuff. We usually just don't do that, generally speaking. Oh, man, John, this is your first break ever. Well, we'll be happy to send you some luck. Who's your team again? Tell us who your team is. This one is a logo swap. That's what I was talking about, the gypsy's face up there in the corner. When you see that, instead of seeing that GQ logo, that is a variation, of course. And we have got a Marcus Semien for the Oakland A's. That is a double variation, kind of, because we've got logo swap up there, and that is also a Players Weekend uniform. So we've got two things going on there with that Marcus Semien card. So that's what's shaking there. And Dylan's here, too. He's got the Braves and the Giants, the Orioles. All right, you got a bunch in here, Dylan. Let's see if we can have some good luck for you as well. There's the Braves with a one of the tarot card inserts. And we had done, of course, our last break of this as a full case, and I started to do that again until I realized, uh-oh, we don't have a whole lot of stuff left to break. And even though some things are starting to come out again next Friday, they still haven't seen an update from Topps. We've only seen the update from Panini. And I decided we better go back to half case because we've only got the case that we started tonight and one other case of Gypsy Queen left. And I didn't want us to run out of baseball before Topps starts giving us something new to see. So I decided we had to go back to half case until, at least till we know what Topps is going to be doing. I would imagine they're going to start having their products show up before too long. I would think. I was surprised we didn't hear anything about it today, but we did not. So the first one out, how about that? That's going to Jay Allen. That is Corey Dickerson for the Phillies. Your little Philadelphia Phillies first hit of the night. How about that? John, you have got the A's, Rangers, Rays, and Nationals. Oh, well, that's a pretty good group of teams there. I would think surely we can find something for you, John. I hope we can. We're going to try to work that mojo. Get you a little first break magic. Numbered to 250 for the White Sox. That was and is Zach Collins. And what else have we got? We're still looking for one more autograph. I see we might have some other parallels in here. There's our other autograph. And it brings us Matt Beatty. This product has been packed with Dodgers all year. And there is another Dodger, Matt Beatty. I don't think we've opened any Gypsy Queen that hasn't had a ton of Dodgers in it, have we? Well, not all of them have had a ton, but I think every case has had some, and some cases have had a ton. Tatis, Mini, Padres. Jay Allen, you said that's the only Phillies player you've hit in Gypsy Queen, and you already have 4 or 5. Oh, man. I'm sorry. There I was thinking we had done good, getting you something you needed, and then you already have it. So, shoot. Well, I tried, my friend. I tried. This is an example of a high number short print. It is Babe Ruth for the Yankees. Once again, any card that is numbered to 301 or higher is a short print in this product. I just call them high number short prints because they are the highest numbers of the set. And again, usually players like that, retired guys, Hall of Famers, high quality, well-known players, if you will, is generally who's going to make up the short print list in good old Gypsy Queen. Did I just mail one to you? That seems like I sorted that 100 years ago. It really does. It seemed like I sorted that a week ago. I know it hasn't been that long, but I could no more tell you what was in that than to tell you the square root of 8,763. I mean, there's just no way I could do it. If you said, hey, I'll give you $1 million if you can tell me what hits you shipped me out of the last Gypsy Queen, I would have no idea. None. I see way too many cards in a day. Way too many. All right, for the Red Sox, it is Andrew Benintendi. This, of course, our Chrome box loader parallels. For the Indians, you've got Francisco Lindor. And last but certainly not least, it is Mr. Mike Trout for the Angels, number 2/150. You said at this point you're just happy to get the autograph. Yeah, sometimes you get in those dry spells, and man, they are not fun when you get stuck and just don't hit anything. And I mean, it's for sure happened to all of us that do breaks at some point in it or another, but it is not ever a fun place to find yourself. So I understand that. Nobody wants that. I'm hopeful that the first product we're going to see from Topps is Bowman. I mean, I feel like it should be the first one they come back with, because they've got that early release Bowman, I think, is either out or due out any time now. So one would think that maybe regular Bowman will be the first thing that Topps comes back with. I would love that personally. You know, I'm a big fan of Bowman, so that would make me super happy if we could have that happen. But you never know what's going to happen. Dwayne, you said not the kind of talk with a first-time breaker in the room. Well, listen, a first-time breaker Hey, first time breakers got to know that that's coming too. I mean, you're not going to hit gold every single time you do a break. I've always thought it is better to manage expectations than to over promise and under deliver. That's always been my viewpoint. But the good news for you first time breakers, if there's more than one of you in here, is that just as often as you can go on a dry spell, you can go on a hot spell where you're just pulling things right and left and it's an absolute blast. And at the end of the year or the end of the month or the end of the week, they all even themselves out. Then that's all that matters. You had a little fun, come out on some good days and some bad days, and overall tilts in your favor. I think that's good. That's the Rockies for a tarot insert. And behind that, you've got one for the Astros with Mr. George Springer. Baseball may be back first part of July, I guess is what they're saying. I kind of thought it would be back by June, but boy, I don't know. Mike Trout, fortune teller mini. They seem to be thinking it might lean more towards July, and I guess probably still without fans in the stands, but that's all right. We can watch from home, save some money, right? We have one for the Cubbies with Alzale coming out for the Chicago Cubbies. So that's our first autograph out of the second box. And what else are we going to find in here? Some good stuff, I hope. I feel like this will be a good half case. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's Josh Bell. That is a blue border parallel numbered to 250. And technically, there are two different shades of blue, but I guess I must be, I don't know what. I don't even know what the word is you would use. I am remedial, perhaps, in my color recognition. And to me, those two shades of blue look almost identical. It makes it hard to tell the difference for me. But anyway, they are allegedly two different shades of blue. One to 199, the other one to 250. And there is a logo swap. Max Muncy. That comes out for the Dodgers, too. Although, look at that picture. Look how skinny he looks in that. Have you ever seen Max Muncy look that skinny? Ever in your life? I think they photoshopped that. I think they photoshopped Max Muncy and made him skinnier. I don't know. But anyway. Well, Jason, we are glad to have you in the break, too. So appreciate you being here. Always appreciate everyone that comes and spends a little time with me. There's Bo Bichette for the Blue Jays. As many of you know, I like having the company. I like having chat and everybody chiming in. It makes it more fun for me, anyway. Dylan, you're trying to ride that Gypsy Queen success from last week. Right on, my friend. Let's keep it rolling here. Keep it going. Marisa thinks that there is a Tatis autograph on the horizon. That would be nice. I like that kid. I do. Yelich, fortune teller mini, Brewers. I enjoy watching him play. It was sad that he got hurt last year and didn't get to finish out his year because he was a lot of fun to watch. Our first black and white parallel, this is numbered 250. We've got the Washington Nationals and Victor Robles. So how about that? First black and white. Hopefully the first of many tonight. And speaking of minis, a different kind of mini, that is Robert for the White Sox on a fortune teller mini. Oh, Dylan, you like the way your cards were packed? All right, good. Good. It's always a challenge when there's so many cards. Like when we did the full case of Gypsy Queen, there was several people had multiple teams, and it is a massive amount of cards. So it's always a challenge to figure out the best way to get them there, that's for sure. The Cleveland Indians hit Bobby Bradley. That is our second autograph out of box number 2. And Jason says, Cubs win, Cubs win. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got a little hit there for your Cubbies. Always good to get a hit for your team early. Then you can kind of sit back and kind of exhale, if you will. And then the rest of the break doesn't feel so stressful if a hit for your team comes out early. At least that's how I always feel about them. You said you're a Dodgers fan. Okay. All right. Cool. Maurice, yeah, I like the Dodgers too. I lived in LA for a while, so I'm a bit of a Dodgers fan, but my tried and true diehard, Cincinnati Reds. I know. Laugh all you want. It's true. Reese Hoskins and the Philadelphia Phillies. We have ourselves a logo swap there. And is that Jackie Robinson Day? All I can see is the 2. I don't know if that's Jackie Robinson Day uniform or not, because all I can see is the 2. But it's definitely a logo swap at any rate. We know that much. So, but yeah, I was kind of interested to see what the Dodgers were going to look like. Brendan McKay, Tampa Bay Rays with a mini after their free agent pickups. And then, of course, we haven't been able to see anything yet, but maybe soon. Hopefully soon. We'll get a look at that new Dodger lineup. And Dwayne, you said Cubs cards make good fire starter. Oh, harsh, man. Those are some harsh words for the Cubbies. There is a Reggie Jackson Oakland A's high number short print that just came out of there, and that wraps up box number 2. Oh, I'm hitting things. I'm running into things with my hands. Oh, Jay Allen, you did not have that one? Woo-hoo-hoo. I feel good then. We got you something you didn't have. So now I'm feeling better. We broke your Gypsy Queen streak, perhaps. We hope. I'm going to try. And, all right, let's see what else we got going. Jay Allen, you said you're glad they're chatting and you won't feel bad leaving me. Aw, you're going to leave me in a few minutes. I know, you got to go to bed because you get up so early, but I will miss you, Jay Allen. You know I always look forward to you chatting with me. There's the Indians and Shane Bieber to 150. We are doing our chrome box loaders. For the Washington Nationals, it's Carter Kieboom and another numbered one in that box loader pack. That one heads to the New York Yankees, numbered to 99, Gleyber Torres. Jason says you were just doing Harry Carey. Yeah, well, all right. It's still going to probably fire up a few people, but you know. Uh-oh, we saw a missing nameplate go by, Dylan said. How far back was it, Dylan? I don't know. Let's see if we can... Oh, there. Woohoo! Right on the top, and Dylan's got the good eyes. I love it. I do miss them sometimes. I'm multitasking, so always flag them if you see them, kids. That is for the Tigers. Now, of course, I would hopefully see it in sorting, but even if by some chance I didn't catch it in sorting, you would still, of course, get it, because all the cards do ship out of here. I don't hold any of them back, so. And thank you for catching that, Dylan. Jason, you're an Orioles fan. Got some friends that live in Baltimore, so I hear about the Orioles from them some. I was sorry to hear about Trey Mancini, though, that they found he has cancer this year in spring training. He had some abnormal blood work, and then it came back it was advanced, wasn't it? Like stage 3 or something. Colon cancer, I believe it is. So he's undergoing treatment for that. So such a young man, too. Of course, you hate to hear about that for anybody, but But he seems to have a good attitude about it and is moving on along through his treatment, so hopefully. J. Allen, that is true. It is rare for you to not have a Reese Hoskins variation. That is true. You do mostly have those. So Derby City Breakers, you must not have been logged on when we were talking about this before. Derby City Breakers is asking about the bazooka backs. So once again, guys and gals, here's the deal. We flip over every single insert that we hit, inserts, hits, variations, and look at the back of those. We do not flip over every single base card and look at it because that would take us, well, forever plus a day. However, we'll get back to that in a minute because we got a hit. This is for the Miami Marlins. It is Jordan Yamamoto. If there is somebody who absolutely has to see the back of every card, we can do that, but it will not be until the very end of the night. Dylan Cease, Fortune Teller Mini. And it will not be like pick it up, flip it over, pick it up, set it down. It's not going to be like that. We would do a quick little shuffle through and take a look at the backs only at the very end of the night on special request only. I don't generally do it because most people have done plenty of breaks with me and they know I send them. And also because I don't like excess handling of the cards, personally. This is a Ricky Henderson, and that is a little high number short print for the Oakland A's with Ricky Henderson. But if somebody does request it and want to do that, then yeah, we'll do it. But that's the way we do it at the very end of the night. So those who don't care can go on, and those who do care can hang out. That was a Chapman Tarot for the Yankees. And there's my little Cincinnati Reds. Fortune Teller Mini for Nick Senzel. Because, yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to tell from the front whether something is going to be different on just the back, like the bazooka backs. And those aren't short prints anymore and haven't been now for a few years. They're actually an entirely separate subset these days. So, in other words, every card could potentially have a bazooka back parallel. And so when they switched from being short prints to being a subset, there's Paul DeYoung, Fortune Teller Mini. That is about the same time that we switched to the way we do it now, which is we look at the backs upon request. You said it was in the last box. Oh, not the one I just found then, Dylan? A different one? Oh, well, dang. I thought it was the one I found right after you said that. So I'll have to go back and look again, won't I? That's all right. I'm going to see those cards again when we sort them anyway, so no worries. I thought I had found it, though. There's Keston Hiura for the Brewers with a blank nameplate. But it sounds like there might have been another one, because that's not the one you saw. So, well, we'll try to go back and locate that one shortly, too. Jay Allen, you said you still don't have the Hoskins autograph in here? Really? I'm surprised by that. You've done a ton of Gypsy Queen breaks. I mean, not just with me, just in general. You've told me how many you've done. Or, well, I have an idea of how many you've done. There was a Chris Bryant Tarot for the Cubbies. And I am quite surprised you haven't hit that by now, truthfully. I would have thought you would probably had it 3 or 4 times by now. He must be elusive in here. There's always certain products where certain guys come out a lot, and then there's other products where it's really hard to hit. That was a Bregman on a tarot insert. Said the Joker on it. Could have said the trash can banger, but it didn't. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? Shame on me. I know, so bad. So bad. A blue border Yamamoto for the Miami Marlins. It is numbered to 150. And I think I've got, did I put my numbered stuff in with my, yeah, I did. Daggone it. I try to stack the numbered stuff separate from the short prints and things, and I mixed them all together in there, I think. So, So yeah, Derby City, like I said, no problem. You want to see the backs, we can certainly do the backs. That's what I said. We're happy to do it upon request, and it sounds like that is what you are requesting, sir. So we will certainly be happy to do that. That's no problem. Next up is another Owlsley, and this is the Cubbies. It's numbered to 50, so it's going to be the black and white parallel coming out there for Chicago. So you got a bookend of Owlsley, but one being the variant and the other one not the variant. Obviously, I guess if one's a variant, well, it wouldn't have to been. I guess they could have both been variants, but anyway, one was a variant, one wasn't. That's the moral of the story. For the Mets, it is a Jacob deGrom black and white, numbered to 50. So that I think is our second black and white parallel that we've seen tonight, I believe. Of course, that will be in our recap also. We'll be at the end. We'll recap our autographs and our numbered cards, our box loaders, parallels, etc. And then at the very, very end of the night, for anybody that wants to hang out with us, we will go through and look at all the backs of all the cards. So that is how we will roll tonight. J. Allen, you are out of here. All right, my friend. We will catch you the next time. Dwayne, you haven't seen a Hoskins come out either, autograph Reese Hoskins, and you've done a lot of Gypsy Queen too. Yeah, I think he must be hard to hit in here. For the Padres, a Manny Machado. For the Cincinnati Reds, that is Nick Senzel. And then we have the gold parallel, woohoo, for the Dodgers with a little Gavin Lux numbered to 50. I like that hit too, because I like Gavin Lux. Dwayne says, save the St. Louis Cardinals big hits for the end. All right, I like it. You're telling the mojo what you need. We'll see if we can get that break mojo to deliver it for you. I'm going to try really hard to make it happen. Jay Allen, we will see you, my friend. You have a good weekend, and I guess we'll probably see you on Monday then. And the worst part of these is always getting them out of the wrappers. That takes the longest of anything we ever do on products like this. It takes longer to get them out of the wrappers than I think it takes to look at them, truthfully. Probably really doesn't take longer than that, than looking at them, but it seems like it does. It feels like it does. I just said somebody out there needs to invent a little, I don't know what, some kind of little automated machine where you could just let it set up there and be whoop, 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 you know, opening all the packs while we're looking at cards. Just let it set up there and cut all the packs open. Of course, that's probably not super feasible. And yeah, it wouldn't work, I don't think, but it would be nice. Or con somebody into helping me here, make them sit over there on the other side of the table and do like a picture-in-picture and put a second camera on somebody else's hands and let them open them and slide them over. But A, I couldn't probably con anybody into helping me most nights, and B, even if we did that, there'd be somebody saying, oh, that's somebody else's hands, and those are different cards, and you didn't give me my cards. There is Keston Hiura for the Milwaukee Brewers with a Gypsy Queen mini. Every time you think you've heard it all, you really haven't. Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals. Look at that. You called it, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Called that one. So, yeah, the latest is I've got a guy who did not win random. And so now he says, because we did random 3 times, and now, mind you, there were 3 teams in there, and his team had just as good a chance as any of the other teams in there to win the random, but he didn't win the random. So he says because we did the random 3 times, we statistically increased his odds over 900% higher than they would have otherwise been. So he demands a refund. That's the latest. Like, you know what? People will go to any lengths sometimes if they do not hit to get their money back. But that is a new one. That's really a new one. Mariano Rivera, and that is a high number short print for the New York Yankees. So, of course, you know, I point out the listing description clearly says this is how we handle multi-team cards. It clearly says that we use random.org. I announce the way that we do it. I do it the same way every single time. And it did not matter. He still says statistically his odds were compromised by the use of random.org. Like, okay, buddy. That was Christian Yelich for the Brewers. And of course, it's because he had an expensive team and he wanted the card and didn't get it. So, you know how that goes. Nunez, logo swap, Colorado Rockies. Of course, I probably shouldn't have even described any of that because out there somewhere is a person who's now listening to that, formulating their next plan to do the same thing. So, not anybody who's participating in my breaks because I don't have that kind of stuff very often, but just somebody who's out there thinking, oh, look what I could do to somebody at some point. There's the Cubbies. They're doing all right tonight. That is a Jackie Robinson Day parallel for the Cubbies. All you need is cards. Says scammers come out of the woodwork right now with the COVID. You are not wrong about that. I have had an incredible amount of people bid and not pay and then do a variety of other things, all of which costs me a lot of money. That is a New York Yankees mini. And the same thing happens every year around the holidays when there's a huge increase in it, when people need money. So they get their cards and then they do whatever and they end up with the money and the cards and presumably they sell them and that's how they get their Christmas money, I guess. That is a Noah Syndergaard tarot for the Mets. So yeah, I'm not surprised that we've got a huge uptick right now in the same scenario because again, some people are feeling the cash crunch and some dishonest people like to find ways to get other people's money when they don't have money coming in, I guess. It's the Philadelphia Phillies, Aaron Nola. But what are you going to do, right? Not much. Not much, not much. You said statistically he's an idiot. Yeah, I mean, basically, I asked the guy, hey, if you hit the card, would this have been the same argument? Would you have emailed me back and said you didn't want the card because statistically your odds were compromised and you shouldn't have hit it? It's like, of course not. It's just obvious. It's so obvious. And what he says doesn't even make any sense. Numbered to 150, that is Carter Kieboom for the Nationals. Yeah, so then he started trying to barter with me. Oh, well, if I just give him half his money back, he wouldn't, file a case or he wouldn't leave bad feedback if I just want to give him half his money back. Michael Chavis and the Red Sox with a fortune teller mini. Of course, you guys know how I am. I'm not a big fan of extortion, so you can probably imagine how that went over. But anyway, we live to fight another day. On we go, right? Jason says, go Rockies. Let's try and find you some more Rockies. Have we seen some Rockies? We have, haven't we? Parallels and things anyway, I think. Well, let's try to find you some other interesting Rockies. I think that sounds like a good plan. We'll see what we can come up with. And we got one more little stack here to check out. And is that about our 800th variation for Yamamoto? Probably not really, but it feels like it. That's the Miami Marlins. That one's numbered to 250. It feels like we've hit a lot of different Yamamotos tonight. Maybe not, but it seems like it. For the Mets, a Marcus Stroman blank nameplate. Still can't get used to him being a Met. You just see him and just want to say Blue Jays as soon as I see his face. You gotta stop and think for a minute. No, that's not right. Told you there's lots of Dodgers in here. Here's another one. And it is a bookend Matt Beatty. So I hope you like Matt Beatty, because now you have him times 2. One to keep and one to sell, maybe? One to keep and one to trade? I don't know. Maybe. All right, here we come into our last box of this half case. So we got a little last box mojo coming along. Let's see if we can bring some fire, bring the heat out of here for the last box. I already see some gold on the bottom, so I like that plan already. For the Brewers, there is Keston Hiura to 150. Then we've got a little Tampa Bay Ray action with Brendan McKay. And our gold numbered to 50. Look at that. That's for my Cincinnati Reds. Aristides Aquino to 50. So if you've got the Reds tonight, not a bad little hit there with Aristides. Derby City Breaker, you're looking for Lux, for Gavin Lux. Yeah, that nice gold one out of the box loaders earlier to 50 was quite good for Gavin Lux. Of course, we would like to see an autograph for him too, but so far we're at Matt Beatty times 2. Dylan says Yamamoto needs to cool off. He needs to let somebody else come out and play, does he? All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Dwayne likes the Punisher. He likes my man Aristides Aquino. Yeah, I hope that kid comes back awesome this year. He started out so great last year, and when they brought him up, and then he cooled off a little, but you know what? That's pretty normal as the pitchers start to figure these guys out, and then the young hitters have to adjust to the pitching adjustments and whatever. So it's not uncommon, obviously, for him to come out smoking hot and cool off a little bit. So I'm not worried about that, but I would obviously like to see him take the field this year so we can see what we've got on our hands this year. All right, get that wrapper off me. That thing's got some static electricity in it. It's trying to hang on. It does not want to go. All right, we've got one of our autographs, and it is Baez, Michael Baez for the Padres. So not Tatis, but hey, you're not going home empty-handed if you've got San Diego, so that's not too bad. So that's our first autograph out of the last box tonight. One more to find, and of course, whatever parallels and things we have as well. For the St. Louis Cardinals, you've got Paul DeYoung, numbered to 250. And let's come over here to this stack. I like to mix and match. Get some out of every stack. I don't know why. I just do. That was the polar bear for the Mets with a tarot insert. And there's another tarot insert. That one for the Astros. Lots of tarot coming out all of a sudden. For the Nats, it's Howie Kendrick with a blue parallel numbered to 150. Let's see what's happening here in the middle stack. I feel a mini on the back, so I'm going to grab it. It's Nick Senzel, and then we had a mini on the top for the White Sox is Dylan Cease. Paul DeYoung, another mini. Cardinals. I didn't say that, did I? But you, you guys probably saw that. But I don't know. My mind wandered for a second. I'm sorry. It did. It did. It totally just wandered off for just a millisecond. I'm sorry about that. I started thinking about the gold parallel set of this that they announced in the spring. That's a Gypsy Queen Tarot Chapman Yankees insert. And wondering if they're still going to produce it. And if they are, will it have as many cards in it? And then I wonder if they'll also still do like bazooka backs and things with the chrome. Or if the backs would not. Or if you wouldn't have that subset in the chrome. So I don't know. My mind wandered for a second. That's all I know to tell you. And that's what I was thinking about. So now you know the rest of the story. That is a Gypsy Queen logo swap for the Arizona Diamondbacks and one Archie Bradley. Our other autograph, it is numbered to 150, probably going to have the blue border. It's the Kansas City Royals, Whit Merrifield. We've been pulling a lot of Whit Merrifield out of things, it seems like, lately, doesn't it? Seems like that to me. I think we have, anyway. Been pulling a few of those out of there. Not all out of here, out of different products. The Boston Red Sox have a high number short print with Mr. Ted Williams. Now, once again, guys, and gals, even though we have seen both of our hits out of here, we might still have some parallels. After we look through these last few cards, we will then come back through and do some recapping. We'll take a look at our variations, numbered cards, box loaders, and autographs. Blank nameplate Altuve for the Astros. After we do that, I will put up the spreadsheet one more time so you can see your anticipated shipping date and the breaks that are coming up ahead. For anybody who missed either of those things at the start tonight, you're going to get a chance to see that after we do our recap. Then after that, we're going to go look through a giant stack of base from the backside. Gleyber Torres Fortune Teller Mini. For anybody who wants to see what, if any, bazooka back subset cards that we have in this half case, we're going to fly through the back of all of them in a minute. Yeah, that was Paul Harvey. All you need is cards. He got that. When I did now, you know the rest of the story. It's not what Paul Harvey sounds like, but yeah. You got it. That was where I was going with it. You were on target there. Let me get my little recap stacks up here so that I know what we've got. You know what? Let's put these in. No, those aren't the ones I want to put in order. These are the ones I want to put in some order so that we have our numbered ones out separately. Just make it easier. All right. So we'll do our box loaders first, and they're all chrome cards, of course. There are 3 per pack. These are just the base ones. Tampa, not numbered. The Rays, Reds, Padres, Nationals, Indians, Red Sox, Twins, and Cubs. That's the first little group. Then we have the blue ones. These are numbered. For the Nationals, that is to 150. For the Indians, to 150. For the Angels, Mike Trout, 150. Gleyber Torres and the Yankees, that one was numbered to 99. And then the Brewers to 150 with Keston Hiura. We had 2 that are the gold parallel. One of them is Gavin Lux for the Dodgers, and he was numbered to 50. And then an Aristides Aquino numbered to 50 for the Cincinnati Reds. So those are our chrome box loaders. Here comes our base cards that are numbered but don't have autographs or other stuff going on. The Nationals to 150, Howie Kendrick. That's the Cardinals with Paul DeYoung numbered to 250. Yamamoto and the Marlins, 250. The Nationals and Carter Kieboom to 150. There's a black and white parallel numbered to 50, Jacob deGrom and the Mets. I must have a black and white in there because we hit 2, didn't we? Or was the other one an autograph? I think we hit another one. Anyway, Jordan Yamamoto and the Marlins to 150. The Pirates to 250 with Josh Bell. The White Sox 250 to Zach Collins. And the Yankees Aaron Judge to 150. Did I put that other black and white one in here? Yes, I did. I was pretty sure we had 2 black and white ones. Stacked him in the wrong spot. Numbered to 50, Victor Robles for the Washington Nationals. Okay, now our next stack. It's variations in high number short prints. So we're starting off with a missing nameplate for the Astros. This is a high number short for the Red Sox, a logo swap for the D-backs. The Mets with a missing nameplate. The Cubbies, Jackie Robinson Day. A logo swap for the Rockies. The New York Yankees and a high number short print Rivera. A logo swap for the Dodgers. Logo swap for the Phillies, and maybe also a Jackie Robinson Day, but definitely logo swap. Followed by a blank nameplate Brewers, a high number short for the A's, a blank nameplate there for the Tigers, a high number short for the A's, a high number short Yankees, a Players Weekend uniform and logo swap for the Oakland A's, and a logo swap for the Angels with Shohei Ohtani. Here come our autographs for the Phillies. That is Corey Dickerson. There's Whit Merrifield, numbered to 150, Kansas City Royals. For the San Diego Padres, it's Baez. For the Dodgers, you have Matt Beatty. For the Cardinals, a little Jack Flaherty. Numbered 250, that is an Alzolay for the Cubbies. Jordan Yamamoto, Miami Marlins. And then we have Bobby Bradley for the Indians. The Cubbies with another Alzolay that isn't numbered. And the Dodgers with a second Matt Beatty, a bookend Matt Beatty. Now, we will do our spreadsheet recap next. I'm going to put up there your shipping information and what's breaking in the days ahead and all that fun stuff. And then once we do that, someone wants to go through and look at the backs of all these to see what, if any, bazooka parallels are in there. So we're going to do that after we do the spreadsheet recap. But I'm just going to go ahead and get everything stacked back over here first, so that we can go through them all again in a moment, in a hot second. Maybe a couple of hot seconds, but you get the idea. So, okie dokie. Let's get our spreadsheet info back up there, first and foremost. So just the one break tonight, which is the Gypsy Queen break, hoping to get it out the door on or about Tuesday. As always, it's plus or minus a day, meaning could go Monday, could go Wednesday. Best estimate as of this point in time is Tuesday night, or Tuesday rather. And of course, everybody hit cards in here, so we do not need to worry about consolation cards. All the cards ship. Every team's going to have a nice little stack coming. This stuff we're going to be breaking over the next few days. It's already up and running, listed on eBay. Saturday night is an off night. Sunday night an off night. Monday night we're going to come back with a trio of Leaf autograph multi-sport jerseys. Spots. Let's try and get that out again. Spots are sold by the first letter of the name on the jersey. So a Brady would go to the B's. A Henderson would go to the H's, so on and so forth. They are all listed in the football category. And we're also going to break a Gold Rush autographed full-size football helmet on Monday night as well. Tuesday night, we're going to come back and finish up the back half of this case of Gypsy Queen that we started tonight. On Wednesday, we're going to break a case of TriStar autographed football jerseys. So that's what it looks like in the days ahead. Now, normally, this is where we would wrap up, but instead, if you want to hang out, you can look at the backs of all these cards, and if you don't, then you don't have to. We're done with everything else. Dylan, you need a Band-Aid after this in Heritage? Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't do well for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Dwayne, you are quite welcome for the Flaherty. I am glad that we hit something for you that does make me happy, that we found at least one thing for you anyway. Peter's here. Hey, Peter, you are hitting me up about the flawless, right? Am I right about that? I'm thinking I am. So the deal is this. We can't talk about it too much in eBay messages because eBay gets real testy about that. They don't like you discussing anything that doesn't have to do with stuff that isn't handled there on eBay. So that's why I didn't want to get into a lot of specifics there. But what you can do is email me if you would like, and I'll type in an email address for you here in a minute. And you can email me and just... we can go back and forth directly that way. Might be easier. And I don't really check my email very much. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. But if I know it's coming, I will. I will do it that way if you want. And then we can just talk about the different ways that we can do it. If you want to buy that whole case, I'll give you some options as to how you can do it payment wise and that sort of thing. So, because most of the time I'm dealing with other dealers or other breakers and people that I we kind of go back and forth. There's a little group of us that go back and forth together pretty regularly, so I have to stop and think about, like, hey, how do I usually do that when it's somebody I don't that we don't trade back and forth, you know what I mean? So, but we'll figure it out. So if you just bear with me a minute, I'll type in that email for you, and then we'll be able to get into the nitty-gritty of it that way, as long as that works for you. Just let me know. Finally, there's one. I was thinking, man, if we do all these and there's not even one, at least we got one. It makes me feel better. We feel like we at least accomplished something, doesn't it? That's what I think. Mauricia, there's no consolation cards going out for this because every team pulled cards, of course. So obviously, if you've got cards coming, you don't need any consolation cards. It's only if people, like sometimes we break things flawless or national treasures, or there's a number of things that you can break where not every team might pull a card. So if it is a break like that, or a memorabilia break where not every team is gonna end up pulling something, then you get a consolation card. It's just, quite simply, it is just a plain loose trading card, right? I got a box of cards that are from a variety of years and a variety of series, and if you had a team that didn't hit and you were in a break, then do one. Again, nobody's getting them from here because everybody's got card shipping from here. But I would just say you had the Dodgers or whatever, I'd just get you a Dodgers card and send it to you. And that's how that works. So, of course, there's a lot more information about that in the listing description as well. That's just a quick little highlight overview, but that's how it works. So yeah, there's one more. Yay, now we found two. Now I'm really feeling happier, because if we had done all this and had none, I would be so unhappy. Not that it takes that, I mean, it takes some time, not a huge amount of time, but I just hate the extra handling of the cards as much as anything else. I really don't prefer that, but sometimes we got to do it, right? So that's all right. It's all right. It's all good. All good, all good. And in this case, at least we know worth it since we have found two. Yeah, some cases you only get 2 or 3 in the whole case. Other cases I've seen we've had more than that. So it's always hard to say what to expect, especially because you don't know, since we randomize the boxes, you don't even know if any of your boxes might hit with one or not hit with one. So good that we found a couple. We'll flip them over, of course, here in a minute after we look through the last of these. The last. All right. Oh, we almost got it. Woohoo! All right. Found two. 2 makes me happy. I can live with 2. 1 would have probably made me happy. None would have made me unhappy. All right, so the Nationals, you have got a Juan Soto parallel. Again, these are subsets these days. They're not short prints like they were a few years ago. Mookie Betts and the Red Sox. That's our other one. So there you go, kids. Now, we really are done. And we've already done the recap and all that kind of stuff, too. No worries, Derby City. I'm glad we found them. You know, like I said, if we'd found none, I would have been like, oh, man, I can't believe we didn't find any. But we found 2, so I feel like we accomplished something with that. So that's all good, man. We're all good. And there's probably somebody else that wanted to see it, too. I don't know. There might have been. You never know if there was or not. But either way, if they wanted to, they did. And if they didn't, they went off and had a drink somewhere probably. Or went to bed, depending on the time zone. I don't know. Anyway, that is it for me tonight. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you very much. I hope that you have a good weekend ahead. And, of course, I'll be back at this Monday night. I would love it if you'd come back by and see me again, or if not Monday, sometime soon. So enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, and all that fun stuff. And we will see you on Monday night. Bye now.